So there's a class of wisdom that goes something like, I think it's best represented by Krishna's message to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, where he says, don't be attached to the fruits of your labors. You are entitled to do your prescribed duty, but not the fruits of your actions. Don't think of yourself as responsible for the outcome, and people who are fixated on outcomes are misers or miserable. And there's a bunch of other stuff that's also like this. There's a Chinese folk tale where there's a guy whose son goes missing and everyone's like, oh no, you must be so worried, and he's like, we'll see. Son comes back with a horse from the wild or something. People are like, you must be so happy. He says, we'll see. The boy is riding the horse, falls off, breaks his leg. People say, oh no, you must be so worried, so upset. He says, we'll see. There's a war that comes to town and everyone gets drafted, but the boy doesn't because he is injured, and people say, you must be so happy. He says, we'll see. And there's that kind of outcome independence, like this detachment from things being good or bad, not being too quick to assume that something is good or bad. That I try to embody if I can, but I will be, I'll concede that I don't very well. Like it seems very enlightened to be able to be so detached from outcomes, right? And this has been something that has been challenging for me with regards to my writing and my essays, where I start writing a lot of times, start a draft, and I don't really know where it's going. I feel like I might have some idea of where it might be going, and then it doesn't really work out, and then I get sad or angry or frustrated or annoyed, right? Because it's not the outcome that I wanted. And I've been trying to think about how do I get better at this, or how do I deal with this. And then I was reminded that I've played the video game Hades by Supergiant Games, which is a roguelike dungeon crawler thing where you fight through rooms of enemies and get to the next room repeatedly. And I decided that I was going to start my third playthrough. So I've completed the main story of the game twice. And so the way to think about this game is that when you start playing the game, you start with a run, like you're making an attempt to escape from hell, right? So you start out in Tartarus, and then you go to Asphodel, and then you go to Elysium, and you go to, I'm not sure what the last place is called, but you basically, there's like 40 rooms ish, 40 to 70 rooms that you go through, and if you die at any point in any of the rooms, you have to start all over again. So you've made a successful attempt, you complete a run. When you go all the way through 40 plus rooms, you face 4 different bosses, then you defeat the final boss, and then you've completed a run, and that feels good, like you've succeeded. And you have to manage, your health, you have to not get hit, you have to be strategic and all of those things. So I started my third playthrough of Hades, and over a few days, I did 25 attempts, 25 runs, and I only completed 5 of them successfully. So I made it all the way to the end 5 times. And I was really upset about it. I was moderately upset about this. I was like, I've played this game. I'm pretty decent at this game, I would think. And why am I not doing better? Why am I making careless mistakes? Out of the 25 runs, I think probably 10 of those runs I made it all the way to the final boss with a good amount of health, a good amount of damage dealing, and yet I would get hit, and then I would what's the phrase they use in sports? I would freeze. I would go, it's the opposite of a hot streak, right? When you kind of climb up and you miss all your shots, and then in poker they call it going on tilt, right? Which I used to do as well when I would play poker with friends or acquaintances. And I've never been very good at poker. I would like to think that I'm decent, but I kind of get too aggressive, I think, and then I tend to I win a decent number of hands, but when I lose, I tend to lose bad. And really, the thing about playing poker long term is you kind of win more long term by minimizing your losses, I think. Right? Like, you play the hands that you can win, but you are going to lose a bunch. And because someone else might have a better hand than you. The worst thing you can have in poker is not the worst hand, but the second best hand. Right? Because then you think you're going to win and you get beaten. And yeah, so anyway, my Hades playthrough, I've been using the game to reflect on my relationship with outcomes and with failure and with process, right? I'm also thinking now about Kenny Werner talking about practicing jazz music and how much, you know, like, you want to, like, he talks about like the problem of the ego. Kenny Werner is amazing because he's able to tell his audience that their ego is the problem, and he does this very compassionately. He does it in a way that when I listen to it, I feel cared for by a guy telling me I'm full of shit, basically, right? Which is very hard to do, and I'm thinking it's probably easier to do in a context about performance rather than like about your moral worth as a person, or, you know, are you being a good person or not. Like, he frames it as, are you playing well as a musician? And then that's the Trojan horse for, are you a good person, I guess. Like, you shouldn't worry too much about being a good person, because then again it's a whole ego trip thing, outcome focused thing. Yeah, and finally I went to bed that night. Yesterday night I was writing, no, it was that day before yesterday night, 2 nights ago, I was writing an essay about my experience, you know, failing at Hades by my definition. Right, so this was my third playthrough. So my first playthrough, it took me like 70 runs to win for the first time. Right, and whereas this time it took maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 runs. And I was disappointed. I was hoping that I would have won by like maybe the 5th or 6th run. Right, and in the earlier runs, you don't have a bunch of abilities that you would probably need in order to succeed, unless you're really, really good, which I'm not. And I have several things to say from here. But let me finish the thought about the essay. So I was writing the essay and I was like, I think I was going to write something about, well, if I can learn to be at peace with how my Hades playthroughs are working out, I would probably do better, right? Like, because again, the freeze, flinch, tilt response makes outcomes worse. Like fixating on needing to play well makes you not play well, right? It's the tragic irony of performance. And yeah, so I was thinking, can I kind of think myself, write myself, meme myself into giving, you know, just being less kind of stressed about it, about Hades and about my writing. And I couldn't finish the essay in time, so I went to sleep. And the next day, I was so I play for a while after I put my son to bed, and then I go to bed and I do some writing in bed. And the next day, which was yesterday, I played 4 runs and I won every single one of them, which felt amazing. But it's funny because the point is to be kind of outcome independent, right? So like, I'm wondering, can you be too happy? Like, are you celebrating too much from a good win? What's the appropriate thing to do there, right? Because again, it's nice to win, but you don't want to get too attached to winning such that not winning would make you feel like shit, right? Because, and again, like, why? Like, the question there is, what's your priority? What do you really want? And I think what you really want is a healthy long-term process, a healthy long-term game, right? You want to enjoy the work for the work's sake. You want to, you know, I don't really play poker anymore. I think I just don't feel like I have what it takes to get good at it. I don't really care that much because the game is fixed, I guess. And I prefer to play games where I can change the rules, or like where the circumstances change and things evolve, because then there's less of a need to be so good with like the specific strategies, because the strategy itself will have to evolve, and I feel like I have an edge in that. Yeah, Hades, playing well. I'm getting distracted because there's like construction work going on and it's making noise. So I'm gonna end the video here, but like, final thoughts. I don't know. I don't actually know what conclusion I have. I just there's something about the quality of experience. Yeah, I guess if there's one thing I want to take note of and end with, it's how striking the feeling is. Like, winning feels really good and losing feels really bad. And I've had similar patterns with like fitness. So like January through March, I was working out very consistently and that felt great. And then in like May, I had a fitness test with the army, and so I had to stop working out, and I was getting fatigued anyway. And then I lost some of my gains, and so like it felt super good getting fit, and then it felt super shitty losing it. But like, how do I be magnanimous about the process? I guess you got to take a longer view on things, zoom out, see the bigger picture, remind yourself that there's many more games to be played, many more rounds to be rounded. And yeah, that's all for now. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your experiences have been. Done.